Furious Driving, proud to be supported by Bidding Classics, the online classic car marketplace with more cars added every week. Diamond Bright, protecting, cleaning and caring for the Furious fleet and for yours with 10% off using code FD10. And Lancaster Insurance cover the Furious fleet. They are one of the biggest specialist insurers in the UK, covering all areas of vintage to modern classic cars and motorbikes. Follow the links in the description below. Hello and welcome to Furious Driving, and this is another video of doing my least favourite activity on the planet. Yes, it's more welding on the Crown Vic, because this job is not going away. Now, this video will be filmed in a series of small parts because, well, a number of reasons actually. Partly because it takes a really long time to do this. I don't want to do a dozen videos of me just putting in 30 centimetres of metal and then walking away looking baffled and annoyed. Also, the weather is not being very helpful at all, so this is kind of a thing that's going on first thing in the morning and last thing in the evening. Southern European style of working on this, because the middle of the day can't be out here. This video begins with me creating two new sections of inner sill if you like. Right, so we've got this marked up nicely to do the second panel to go into the inner sill, and I've actually found the 1mm cutting discs people keep talking about, except they're actually labelled up as plasma cutting discs. I never knew that. If someone had said that ages ago, I'd have bought them. Ah, it's inside my ear. How did I get past my earplugs? Ow. So now we're back with our nice new metal bending device, which came in from, which I got from Machine Mart, which, like I said last time, is absolute game changer when it comes to doing this kind of stuff, because in just a matter of moments I can have a beautiful straight line the length of this metal and in two directions, instead of an hour or so of flipping around with a hammer and a vise and a bunch of bits of wood. This would be easier in a vise, but the vise, as I said last time, is stuck in front of the W123. This is quite thick metal, so it's proving a little hard to bend. One straight bend done. Right, and the second turn is facing the other way around. Right, so this will be the last twist of steel for this particular side of the car, which is good because I'm not sure how much more abuse this workmate can take. Done. So before we weld these into the car, I'm going to quickly black them over with some zinc primer, weld through primer, so that we can rust proof them and make them part of the car without additional rust in there, because that would be a bad thing. Now, I'm not a big fan of the sunshine at all. About 15 degrees and shady is my ideal. So yeah, we've got ourselves a lovely bit of summertime shade stolen from the garden, an old garden umbrella, actually working for once. Now, if you recall, with these panels here, the mistake I made, well, it wasn't really a mistake, it's what I was forced into doing. It's a flat edge along the bottom of here, but the vertical edge waves in and out like a box, like a corrugation. But unfortunately everything was rotten, so I had no choice but to cut that stuff out. And what I did with the previous first bit here was to go and get my mole grips and try and grind these into the corrugation. Someone did suggest that I do what other people have done in other videos, make little slits to make it easy to pull things in and out. That's something I'll explore the possibility of right here, although I have to say the prospect of doing yet more welding on top of what already I'm doing does not make it a attractive proposition. Right. So it needs to be slightly in up to that point just there. Okay, the end point of this one folds in actually quite a long way, so I'm going to slice that one just down there just to get a little angle cut into it. Okay, so after shaping that around as much as I can, what I've decided to do is to weld this on the front rather than inside this time, just because of the shape of it. And so I've trimmed this down a little bit lower to get a bit more access against this inner wing section, or inner sill section. I think we're virtually there, ready to go with some welding now. Phew. Incidentally, if you're wondering why I'm not wearing ear protection, it's because I've got the in-ear earbud things, which are really good at blocking out the audio from the grinder. It means I can keep listening to me audible. And now, 10 from the top. Okay, now we'll drill some plug welding holes so we can start zapping on this, because this was spot welded from the factory. Now, in the last video when I did this, it was the first time I'd ever done it, and I was using a 6.5mm drill. Someone said it was too small, go up to an 8mm. So we have, so you get a bigger, I guess, bigger contact area, bigger circumference. So we'll do that. Incidentally, they changed the hat because I was wearing a nice hat before, and now it's going to get messy. So cheap old hat. Incidentally, this drill is blunt as anything. I think it might be why I used 6.5 before. Now I'm going to start a fire before I drill a hole in it. Maybe I'll go drill a pilot hole with a 5mm. So use the wire brush now. Take this red oxide type rust preventing primer, which is a Bulldog brand stuff. Right, okay, so second bit of metal going in. Well, one down. That's really neat, actually. Oop. Well, we can see how much gas I've got left in this bottle. Right, so we've got our third 60 centimetre, actually slightly under, about 50-55 centimetre section. So that's the first metre. This one is too long though, so it's cut down to this length here, and then it will fit in. Right, so hopefully that'll be the right length. I cut it slightly over on the off chance that it was wrong, because you can take more off but you can't add more back. There we go, little dagger shaped wedge taken out of the that piece just there. Ow, that's really hot. Make sure I clean it up later, because that will destroy a tyre. And that can then fold in like that. So that should then hopefully, yep, fit in just there. Super, and indeed do, but I just need to take off a couple of millimetres just there actually. Oops, wrong way around.
Well, we're halfway there. At least it fits up neatly against the back of the panel now. Just need to sort out the front section, which again is all over the blooming place. In fact, this is a lot narrower at the front than it was further back. This is going to take a fair bit more manoeuvring. Well, it fits along the back edge, which is nice. It's just this front edge here is actually quite a bit tighter fit. Comes in quite a long way, so I've got a fair bit more fettling, I think is the word we're going to go for here. Fettling to make it all fit. But now I've got a second section in, so the car is becoming more solid. A lot of grinding to come along because I've got to get all these spot weld, plug weld bits really smooth, so I can put the outer panel flush against that. So poor old grinder's going to be getting a workout this afternoon, or this evening, or I don't know, later. So that now this final piece, which I'm now ready to put into the car, I've realised that the front end of the crenellations, if you like, is actually an even 7 centimetres away from the inner sill, the inner edge here, rather than 8 like the rest of the car. So where the rest of it flows in and out, this is a straight 7, so I'm just going to have to bash this flat. So let's take this back to just under 7 or 7 centimetres. And then we can get our folding machine. Ow, ha 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 ha. A lot harder without actually clamping it into the thing. But it's only light metal. Well, when I say light metal, it's only a short run of very heavy metal. So we should be okay. There we go. Yeah, that fits better, but I do need to go and trim a bit off the top there. Well, that actually was a grinding disc, which got surprisingly far through, but it was quite hard work. Wow, it kind of actually fits. Okay, right, it's all clamped into place. I've done a little bit of testing because I was using the welder on the Rover yesterday. 5.9 is the magic number on this particular car. I had to go get sleeves, even though it's so boiling hot. I had to go and get sleeves. I was getting splattered with burny bits. So we've now got a complete inner sill along the length of the car. So that's good. What I need to do now is finish grinding off. We had grinding off my spot welds, plug welds. So we've got a smooth finish to put the outer sill onto next, and then build the front and rear ends, because this section here has dissolved, so I need to put a new section along here and figure out what's meant to be just here, because I'm not even sure what I'm supposed to be looking at right now. Okay, so this is how far we've now got with the Crown Vic. That's 3 days of work in blistering heat to get about 1.5 meters of inner sill down the length of the car. So here we go. A solid side on the inside bit now. Got those front and rear end bits to create, and of course we're going to make the outer bit fit as well. So fair bit more work to do, but as I say, this is 3 days of work going this far. If I wait until I've got the complete outer section built as I plan to, it's been another 2 weeks or so before we get this next video out. So here you go. Now I know it's not pretty, but it's going to be well hidden and it is strong. So that's the main thing. Strength is the key, getting good penetration into the steel there. Nice hot welds are cutting in there, so yeah, I'm not worried about that. It just isn't very pretty to look at, which is, well, it's a shame, but it's going to be inside the car, and it's also going to be flooded full of wax as well, so the whole lot's going to be rust proofed for the future, which is nice. Anyway, this is where we're going to leave this today. So this is one of my 2 unexpected projects I would rather not be doing at the moment, with this and the 420, both causing problems and not doing the stuff I would like to be doing. Well, yeah, that's just life, isn't it? Anyway, as usual, like, subscribe, you know the deal, and join me again next time when I probably won't be doing welding, because I'm fed up of welding, or I will be welding on the 420 again, I don't know.